is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Director of Football Non-League to Legend. This is episode 53. And you may be wondering, 16th of July, why are we back? Well, I've had a job offer, and I'm taking it. So I think this is probably the best time to kind of have a look and see what happened at Arsenal, because I will be leaving today. So up to this point, the Director of Football has been relatively busy. We have a lot of ins and outs that are kind of we're looking at doing at the minute. History-wise, we have brought in 3 players. Jack Smith was the midfielder that we brought in like at the start of last year. Came in, the Director of Football instantly sent him out on loan to Luton. That's fine. He looks like a good prospect. Then signed PSV's DM Nelson Carvalho, who does look... Unfortunately, I won't get to use him because I'm leaving. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Looks like he could be pretty decent. They reckon he's never going to be a good central midfielder. That's what I was intending on playing him as. So if I ever get him, hopefully he will actually become a good central midfielder. Although in my stream save with Hertha Berlin, they said the same about Arne Meyer, and he turned into a world-class central midfielder. I know how to pick a player. But then again, I didn't sign Arne Meyer, he was there already. But yeah, he's come in for 41.5 million, possibly 51 million. And then the weirdest signing that he could have made, Tom King. Tom King couldn't get a game last year for Ipswich, and Ipswich got relegated. So we've signed their backup goalkeeper. Maguire went on loan to Wolves. I didn't really want that. I wanted to sell him, but the Director of Football just went, nah, let's send him out on loan. Jesse Lingard's gone to Southampton. Ruben Blanco has gone to Angers. Versace was sent out on loan to Sporting. Mohamed Dahoud has gone to Huddersfield, who we beat in the FA Cup final. Woo! He's gone for 11 million. Ed Wilde and Moise Keane have got on loan as well. And Eddie House, who I had just brought up to the first team, who I was going to be using as kind of my second/third choice goalkeeper, because Tom King was never going to be getting even remotely close to being he was never going to even want to sit in the bench. He's like the Rob Green of the Arsenal squad. I brought him up. He's looking like he's going on loan to Cardiff, and Yalassi looks like he's off to Ajax on loan. So as you can see, this is pretty much what we're looking at now. Actually, what's tactics? No, we won't, because I don't have a squad picked, because we're doing friendlies. To be fair, there's a lot of players here that are quite good. Sinan has picked up an awful lot of interest recently. Pereira as well, but they're off. I think Pereira's off the Olympics. Italy won the Euros as well, beating Germany in the final on penalties. There's a lot of players here that are really quite good. Some of the players I'd like to bring with me to my next club would be probably Dickinson, Sinan, Pereira. Wouldn't mind bringing Aziz because he's quite good. Didn't get as much football as I would have liked this season. Maybe Chloe. I don't know, but I want to bring Tierney with me. Arthur would be nice. Reece Nelson would be a nice player to bring with me. I'd obviously like to bring Yalassi because he's a good goalkeeper. Wouldn't mind bringing Richard Foy, but he's very hit and miss. Milinkovic would be a nice player to bring. Willock would be a player I'd like to bring. I wouldn't mind bringing Luke Shaw, to be honest. He was solid at the back. Sabazali would be a player I'd like to bring. Danny Stratford would be a good one. Breeden, player I'd love to bring with me as well. He I think. Marcelo Paz purely because He's a random Bolivian that my director of football found. And other than that, there's nobody else I'd really like to bring with me. So we are leaving Arsenal with 132 million, almost 133 million in the bank, might I add, with a projection of 113 million for the end of the season. Like, they are in a good situation. They're failing. Suppose they're going to fail financial fair play. We did end up actually getting 102 million in sponsorship for the stadium. It was like 16 million, or not 16 million. It was like 60 million for last season, and it's been increased to 102 million for the next 6 years. They are fine. Arsenal, I'm leaving you in a better financial situation than when I joined. But now it is time for us to leave. What I will do is I will tell you the story of how this all came about. So Bayern Munich lost their manager to Chelsea. It was Kovacic took over at Chelsea. So Bayern, I was brought up as one of the 3 top potential takeover manager people. Applied for the job because, I like managing in Germany. It seems to be a league that I do well in. Didn't get an interview. Didn't get shortlisted. They wanted nothing to do with me. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Then Real Madrid sacked their manager, or their manager left, or something happened to them. So they came up as an option. Again, one of the top 3 managers to get the job. Didn't get the job. Didn't even interview me. They told me to piss off. I wasn't good enough. Then they got their new manager, and their new manager's club, I was favourite to take the job. Not according to the media. While the media said I was favourite to take the job, the media prediction in staff, the staff where everything drops down on the corner over there, I wasn't favourite to take the job. So I was like, okay, I applied for it regardless, because it's a job that I said like a year or 2 ago that if it came up again I'd take it, if offered the job, obviously. So applied for it, didn't think I was going to get it, got an interview, didn't bother recording it because I thought it's another interview we've done them for the last couple of seasons. It's not something I'm overly bothered by. They wanted to play defensive football. I told them piss off, we're going to play attacking football. So I thought then, it didn't even occur to me that maybe I'd still be in a position to get the job. But we've been offered the job. So it's Liverpool. They expect us to win the league. We have 123 million, almost 5 million in wages. It's going to be... I'm asking for 10k extra. They're not going to take it. How about an extra 5k? To be fair, 50k increase in my wages. How could I say no? How could I say no? I could now go in and transfer list a bunch of players that I want to bring with me. But I'm not going to be that kind of scummy cunt. So we're going to say bye-bye to Arsenal. We have 70% reputation, 3.5 stars. We've won the FA Cup with Arsenal. 313 games played, 182 wins, 50 draws, 81 losses through my entire career. It was nice while it lasted. We've been here for 3 years. Yeah, been nearly 1,000 days in charge of Arsenal. It was nice. But Arsenal, I bid you adieu. Tyler John Jules, or Jules John, whatever his name is, I put him on the transfer list, and then the director of football offered him a new contract. But here we are. 18.5 million Arsenal have been given for taking us away from them. Yeah, boy! We've taken over at Liverpool. We are... Hugo Leal. Is that Milan on loan? Okay. Why? Milan aren't even paying all their wages. Oh my god. Las Gals is a. Okay. Alright, so what we'll do is I'll finish out the transfer window. Actually, we should have a look and see who they brought in and sent out. We have 123 million. Beautiful. Carlos. Brazilian centre back. Not bad. Just. He's had a good. He's had a mediocre season. A couple of seasons with Valencia. He's quite good at marking. He's a little and tackling. But he's quick. That's okay. Okay. Julian Beltran. He is a wonder kid. Pacey hitman. Oh. Pacey hitman. If I was Loki Doki now, I'd be like, Pacey hitman. Plays as a striker. Inside forward on whatever on the left. 82 million for a guy who scored 14 goals in the last 2 seasons. Oh, Nastasic. Why would you bring in a 31-year-old Nastasic who barely played for Bayern last season? Who have we got? Grujic. I love Grujic. Okay. That's fine. Fabinho is gone as well. Alright, well, I'll bring you back at the end of the transfer window. And we will start our season against Tottenham. Okay. Liverpool haven't even started their pre-season matches yet. And at Arsenal, we were already like 4 games in. Okay. My assistant went mad and started, I think we had like 9 friendlies to play. Anyway. Back in just a second. Oh, we have the Champions League draw as well. Ooh. Back in a second. Alright, fellas, we are back for the first game of the season and our transfer roundup. As you can see, I don't know why I'm pointing. You can't see what I'm pointing at. West Ham beat Arsenal in their first game. Jose Mourinho took over at Arsenal, as you can see, and made the ultimate in decisions. I haven't checked in a while, but he said 2 goalkeepers on loan to Sunderland. Yeah, and Kieran Tal's gone to Fulham. The only signing he made was Ryan Nyambe from Watford. He's a right back, so he's never going to play because Richard Foy will more than likely start ahead of him. Other than that, there isn't a whole lot. They did sell Tyrese John Jules to Shanghai SIPG for 11.75 million. That's been pretty much their entire thing, all their transfer business since I left. Now, us on the other hand, the director of football is a lot less into making signings at Liverpool. Everything said, the director of football is doing everything. Same as my director of football has done at every single club I've been at so far. And these are the transfers. Brought in another striker, Fabio Silva, 51 million, all up front. He did pick up an injury at the Olympics, which I actually haven't checked to see who won that. I don't really care, but brought him in. He's been a fairly good player for Porto. But for the one season anyway. I had a season at Inter, didn't do an awful lot, not really played much for Portugal. Brought in Luis Neira, a Peruvian goalkeeper from Universitario de Portes. Was relatively good with them, went on loan to Empoli. Had a decent season with them. Now he plays for us. He's our second best goalkeeper, to be fair to him. An old favourite of mine, Oliver Bowman, is not the best goalkeeper, so I'm kind of glad he brought in a backup. And Andrea Benedetti is a player I've been watching at Huddersfield for a while. He's a wonder kid, centre-back, who is very tasty. Very, very tasty. Brought him in for 78 million. It was like 50 something million, and he almost instantly, whatever the transfer, or maybe it was in installments, whatever, it just popped up straight away as 78 million. So he has sold Curtis Jones to Swansea, Asan Duse, to Porto for up to 27.5 million, and Stuart Roberts went to Borough for 575. Scott Graham is one I'm interested in. He's a very good looking prospect. He's gone to Hoffenheim on loan. He's one I'm definitely going to be watching for the season. So yeah, as I said, this is all the transfers we have done. There's not been an awful lot else. He did offer for other players, but nothing came up. Jamal Lascales, Naby Keita, and that Mexican dude, what's his name? Pizarro, all had offers for them. They all got rejected. We then had, it was the injury crisis. Chiesa picked up a knock, and Robertson picked up a knock. Fabio Silva, as I said, picked up a knock at the Olympics. Lamar picked up a knock, but I think he was injured before I arrived anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Then Julian Beltran picked up an injury, and our best player, Chiricic, picked up a knock as well. And that was very irritating because we don't have a left midfielder. We don't have a good left winger anywhere else in the squad, which is rather annoying. There's work going on in the house next door, so you might be able to hear banging. So I apologise for that. I apologise for that, and that's my voice there for a second. Orlov is probably the only other good winger we have. As you can see, Bobby Firmino is going to be playing as the left winger today. Orlov, who was just about to leave on loan to Zenit, when I decided I'm going to put my hands up, I blocked that transfer. We needed a backup left back, and I couldn't afford to let him go. Oh, excuse me. I'm just after a carbonated beverage, and it seems to be assaulting me. So of the players that have come in since I joined, Benedetti is going to be sat on the bench for today. We do have a very ageing squad with Alisson Becker at 31, Virgil van Dijk at 33, Salah is 32, Kovacic at 30, Bobby Firmino 32, Nastasic, player I'm not really expecting to play an awful lot this season, 31, Lascelles 30, Bowman 34, Pizarro, Cancelo and Robertson all at the age of 30. This could be one of those seasons where, it's... So, for today's game, we have Alisson Becker in goal, Alexander Arnold on the right wing back, Orlov as our left wing back, Virgil van Dijk and Carlos as our centre backs. Because Benedetti isn't quite match sharp yet, so I'll probably bring him on in the second half if we're able to. Dalinas and Paolo Rosso as our central midfields. I'm probably going to learn how to say that properly. He almost went to Real Madrid. That was slightly frightening because we don't really have a huge squad, as you can see. I'm kind of regretting my decision of leaving Arsenal because, but the money. Mo Salah plays on the right with Bobby Firmino playing on the left as a Rome Dieter. Kovacic is going to play as the number 10, and Benenua is going to be the striker for today. We don't have an awful lot in the way of players to play on the subs bench, so 16-year-old Joshua Logan is going to be sat on the bench, having joined from Preston at the start of last season, I think. Oh, where is he? No, joined from Preston recently. When did he join? In January. So he's going to sit on the bench for today. And I've come back too early. So you could just talk amongst yourselves. So Raheem Sterling joined Chelsea as well. So, but Man United off to a bad start. We're still not ready to go. Or so we're the late kickoff. I didn't check what time we were starting at. But this is fine. I'm not too worried. This is... Greenwood is back at Wigan again for the season from Arsenal, who, according to Steve Bold, was it Steve Bold or was it Deletti? It was, yeah, Deletti. He's worth 34.5 million. He's been mediocre at best. Oh my god. Yeah. Daniel Chiricic and Thomas Lemar failed their fitness tests. Benedetti's only able for 45 minutes. Robertson's only capable of playing 75 minutes. But I am probably not going to chance either of them. So, in terms of playing against them, 4 wins each, 7 draws, you would say based purely on that, a draw seems the most likely result. But... actually, I'm going to just pop him into the under-23s because he is never going to play. Yeah, I don't know how much that construction work is going through the microphone, but it is rather loud. Tottenham did buy Ampadu for like 46 million or something. 45 million, sorry. So I'm interested to see how he gets on. Hopefully not to Mario Gaspar. He's no, never mind. Thought he was the Hungarian guy. But they do have Nagy on the bench. So I expect to win today. Alright, the lads seem happy enough. We are expected to win the league. I think that's hopeful. Special day. Can't wait to get started in a wonderful job. Do I think we'll win the league? I'm not so sure. I think we will challenge for the league, but I'm not so sure it's going to be as easy as like, oh yeah, we're going to just walk the league. If Salah has a good season and Beltran and Fabio Silva can play well together, then maybe we can challenge for the league. But if they don't, then I'm not so sure. I was hoping that the director of football would go in for Pereira or Sinan, but he did not. He did go in for Dan Dickinson. He's like an American centre-back playing for Everton. He did try and sign him, so I was a bit like, I was kind of ex-Liverpool Sousa, I'm assuming. I know Sousa's been in the Tottenham side for a while, but I'm assuming that's the Sousa that used to play for Liverpool. We'll have another chance. Yeah. The guy who wasn't good enough to play for Liverpool. Yeah, that's just scored against us. Is it too early for a shout? Never. Never too early. What was I saying? Yeah, if we can get everyone... Kovacic. If everyone's firing on all cylinders, I think we should be alright. But I'm not 100... Oh, Sousa. Becker did so well to keep those first 2 shots out. But we do really need to... We're basically focusing on just trying to get the main players, playing well. Because we do have a lot of talent. Oh, Sousa again. He finishes his hat-trick in 10 minutes. Oh. I do think we're going to struggle a little bit at the start, because they're going from playing defensive to playing attacking with, as my tactic is still called, Arsenal. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I do have to kind of work on the routine, because I don't know, do I want to play the same, that Greek wonder kid, Mo Salah, whips it back it? No. I do think I left because I thought that the Liverpool team had better, it was a better prospect. That and the fact they were paying me 50,000 more. But having seen the squad, looked at it in a bit more detail, maybe the money wasn't worth it. Maybe the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Alright, no. I need to go back this way. Let's just take a sip of Wawa. I'm going to demand more. We should be doing better than losing 3-0 to Tottenham within 10 minutes. Seeing as we have a very, very expensive defence. Trent Alexander-Arnold to Mo Salah. Alexander-Arnold gets nowhere. The Greek wonder kid. Benua for Bobby Firmino. Yes! Go on, Bobby. I just wish we had still had Mane, but he's playing for Real Madrid, I think is the one he went to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the one that he went to Real Madrid. I think he's still there. But we have a corner, Kovacic to Firmino, not a great cross. Back to Virgil van Dijk. Carlos to Delanas, Mo Salah, Kovacic. Quite a save by Lafont. Let's say show some passion. Alright. Bobby Firmino is the only one that's playing well, so I don't know what to do. Mo Salah is playing horrendously. It's not the way I wanted to start my career at Liverpool. Like, it's been a fairly even game. 10 shots each. They've had 2 more on target. We've had more fouls. They've had more possession. Right, so Orlov, I didn't expect him to have a fantastic game, to be honest. Mo Salah is playing horrendously. What I might do. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Kill him. Might just set you back to support. No, do you know what? Fuker. Mo Salah, I'm going to put you as a complete forward because I'm pretty sure you've got the stats to be a complete forward. Yeah. Yeah, your jumping reach isn't great, but that's the only flaw in your game. Bobby Firmino. Yeah, you're natural. I'm going to leave you as a deep lying. And we'll see how this goes. What I should do is change my team instructions to play through the middle, seeing as though we don't have any width now. Yeah. But I could very quickly change it back to having wingers if this really doesn't work. Yeah, the Tottenham players aren't playing that much better than we are. it's just been Suso. Suso's the only one that's made the difference so far. Without him, they're not that much better. We are really struggling with Orlov. And Mo Salah's not playing that well. Virgil. Back to Becker. Or Ellison. Up to Polo. To Trent Alexander-Arnold. To Mo Salah. Oh, great save. Mo Salah's not been in the greatest of form recently, in recent years. But Bobby Firmino puts it in, and far too easy for Lafont. Right. Yeah, you want to be that. Orlov is not playing that well, so I'm going to take off Carlos. Wait, no. Orlov, you come off. Gonna bring on Joe Gomez, but I'm gonna have him as, ball playing defender cover. And we will leave our last substitution for now. Although, what I will do, swap these two over. Have you being the deep line playmaker in the middle. You as the advanced forward on the outside. And that hot mess looks better. Kovacic to Ben-Yua. Pops it in. Not a great ball, but Paolo, that's a mouthful. Kovacic whips it in. Doesn't really go anywhere. But Dalinas to Soler. And Padu clears it. Dalinas almost hit the back of the net. Virgil van Dijk to Kovacic. Ben-Yua. Oh! Soler is not a striker I want to spend too much time depending on, so I'm not really going to be playing him as a solo striker because he does have in his Liverpool career 1 goal in 21 games. So he's not a player I'm going to spend, like he's done well at Hertha. I don't know why he struggled so much at Liverpool, but Alisson Becker is just getting done for fun from free kicks. Get your bets in early, lads. Suso top scorer of the season. That's just been ridiculous. Gomez fires it across. Paolo Rosso. Mikel Soler to Gomez. Fires it across. And bopped away. Go on, fuck it. Is there anybody I want to bring on? I kind of want to bring in Naby Keita, but it's not really going to make any difference. Unless set you to advanced playmaker on attack and have you as our Mazzana, because you can only play back spot. Yeah. Benedetti is going to have to sit this one out, unfortunately for him, but if we could get a draw on the first day of the season after playing so badly. No. Ethan Ampadu scores in his Tottenham debut. Push. Get 4. Alright, so what have we learned from today's game? This team is going to take a little bit of getting used to for what we're doing. My reputation has increased since I took over at Liverpool. I've gone from 70% to 75%. We also need to look at changing our routine Yeah, far from pleased. That was god awful. Like Mo Salah. Terrible performance. I don't care if you've lost confidence. I'm not pleased. To be fair, I'm not pleased with what I saw, but he's still young. Oh. 5-3 defeat. Oh. That was his. He was the one that was on loan last season. So let's have a look and see when we are going to come back. Of course, that's the one that was on TV. So we are going to come back for first Champions League group game this season. I'll also bring you back for the draw, and then we play the first game. And Watford, because I think we played the last game of last season we played, or the last episode we played Leicester, so we'll do Watford this time round. Or do we go for the second game? No, we'll do the first game and we'll play Watford, so that'll be the next episode, along with the draw whenever that might be. Just have a look and see if there is. No, so they haven't, the qualifying rounds haven't finished yet. But once the draw is about to be done, I'll bring you back. We'll have a look at it, see who we get, and see who Arsenal get. Because remember, we did get them into the Champions League last season, and I can only imagine Mourinho is going to absolutely ruin them and destroy the team that I put together. Well, the director of football put together, and the one that I made really good. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, yada yada yada. You know the story. All YouTubers say the normal thing. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.